From Cartier, the house that brought us the Santos line, the Pasha line, and the Déclaration line, we have a brand new release. This is Déclaration Eau de Parfum. Stick around as I unbox this new release. Hey, welcome back to Real Scent Review, guys. I'm going to do another unboxing first impressions video here for you guys tonight. This is the new, relatively new, this was only released a couple of months ago now, the end of 2024. This is Déclaration Eau de Parfum by Cartier. Cartier. One of my favorite houses, absolutely one of my favorite houses. Pasha Parfum, one of my favorite fragrances ever. Such a spectacular fragrance. So this one here, obviously part of the Déclaration line. The original Déclaration was released in 1998, and I believe Jean-Claude Helena was the perfumer behind that one. Now, the original Déclaration, not one of my favorite fragrances. I'll be honest with you. I liked it. I definitely respect it. I mean, I know as far as citrus, spicy, musky, masculine fragrances go, it's very nice. It is. I acknowledge the high quality. I acknowledge the love that that fragrance demands. I get it, right? It's a good fragrance subjectively, just not one of my favorites. 2005, Mathilde Laurent becomes the in-house perfumer of Cartier. And she went on to release some flankers of the original Déclaration. So in 2018, she released the Parfum version of Déclaration, and I much prefer that one to the original. So she took, good aspects, what I feel to be good aspects of the original Déclaration, like the spices. She turned up those spices in the Parfum flanker. She turned up the sweetness a little bit in the Parfum flanker, and she added some Tolu balsam in that flanker, which I absolutely love. Yeah, it was great. It was great. And then let's take a look at the Pasha line. Back in the early 90s, I think 1992, Pasha, the original Pasha, was released. Aromatic fougere, very nice. It's a scent that I like. Again, it's not something that just screams at me. It's not something that totally grabs my attention, but I acknowledge that it is a great aromatic fougere fragrance. Absolutely. I like it. I like it a lot. Now, a couple of decades later, okay, Mathilde Laurent released Pasha's Parfum. Okay, one of my favorite fragrances ever. I think it's spectacular. Yeah, so the point that I'm trying to make here is Mathilde Laurent really, it's almost as though she takes older Cartier perfumes and just improves them. So I have high hopes for this one. Let's just say I have high hopes for Déclaration Eau de Parfum. Now, actually, having said that, there is no official perfumer tied to the release of this fragrance. If you look on the internet, if you scour the internet, you will not find, as of right now, as of February 22nd, 2025, you won't find a perfumer officially attached to this fragrance. However, I think it's safe to say that it's Mathilde Laurent who's behind this. Why do I say that? Well, because she is the in-house perfumer at Cartier. She's under contract. She definitely is going to be the backbone behind the fragrance development. However, what does happen sometimes is that the in-house perfumer works very closely with another perfumer, essentially, or maybe an assistant, works very closely with one or two of these people. That can happen sometimes. And for one reason or another, the head perfumer does not release their name, does not attach their name to the fragrance released. Anyway, that can happen sometimes. I don't know if that's the case right here. Towards the end of 2024, Cartier had another release, which was, what was the name of that release? That was La Panthère Elixir from the feminine line of Cartier. La Panthère line, it was a feminine release. So Mathilde Laurent's name was attached to that one. So really, I don't know why Mathilde's name is not attached to this release, except for that reason I just mentioned. I don't know. That could be the reason, but I don't know for sure. Anyway, the point is, I have high hopes for this one. I have not been as excited for a Cartier release since Noir Absolute, Pasha Noir Absolute, which awesome release, but very different. It's slightly challenging. Doesn't smell anything like the Pasha line. Doesn't smell anything like the other Pashas. Noir Absolute is dark, smoky, very woody. I love it. Not everybody does. Just it's very interesting release. Out of the box release. Anyway, speaking of out of the box Cartier releases, let's get this one out of its packaging. So, totally new. I went to Primor here in Madrid on my lunch break today. Brand new box. Yeah, I cannot wait to get into this one. So, it looks like the other Déclaration boxes. Red rectangle. It has the raised cardboard style logo on the front here. There's like a raised cardboard border that goes along the outside of the box here. Nice. Yeah, all the usual information here. On the bottom, I will read my batch code, which is DFAVA. Don't know if you can see that here. Anyway, here it goes. So, gonna get this one out of the box for the very first time. Ooh, I'm excited for this one. Very excited. Okay. Yeah, so it's definitely a Déclaration bottle. Looks like the previous ones. Okay. So if you can see right here, there's a metal kind of barrier. You pull that down so that you're able to press the atomizer. A little bit similar to that Montal contraption, the charm that you pull out so that you're able to press down the atomizer. Anyway, I have a feeling this is not going to be nearly as annoying as the Montal charm. Okay. I am excited. Let's get the first few sprays out of this. Okay. Nice atomizer. Ooh, okay. Okay, nice opening. Yeah, okay, right off the initial spray, I do get a little bit of that bitter orange that the original Déclaration has in the opening. Just like 10 seconds after initial spray, I get that bitter orange. That's the first thing I detect. Ooh, and some ginger. Definitely getting some ginger. Okay. Okay, very strong atomizer. I don't know if you just saw that second pair of sprays, but this came out like looked like a shower, like a stream of shower water. Damn, strong atomizer. Okay. Very nice. Okay. Heavy ginger, definitely. Heavy ginger. And that orange. Okay, so the orange in the opening lasts like less than a minute. On this arm here, it's almost already gone. Definitely being overpowered by the ginger now. And yeah, even on this wrist here, the bitter orange is subsiding. Definitely. In favor of that ginger. So I get a lot of ginger in the opening here. Ooh, okay, now there's some cardamom. I definitely get some cardamom on the green side. Definitely on the green side. It's like an unripened cardamom. Get that peppery, warm spice from the cardamom. Mixed with that ginger. The ginger is very prominent in the opening here. The orange is maybe hanging around a little bit in the background still after it's been like a couple of minutes now. But it's like the orange is hanging on for dear life. It's barely there. Ginger, way more prominent. Now cardamom, way more prominent. Gonna wave this in front of me to get some of that sillage. Cinnamon. Okay, definitely. I'm getting some cinnamon, a little bit of that sweet yeah, okay. Cinnamon, definitely cinnamon. Which is interesting because if I press my nose up to my wrist directly over the spot where I sprayed, okay, now I can detect the cinnamon on my skin, but right off the initial spray, I could not. The cinnamon, very prominent in the sillage. In the sillage, prominent cinnamon, prominent ginger, definitely some cardamom. But up close, that cardamom really pops, and the ginger, very substantial as well. Okay, yeah, now, okay, on my skin, there's some cinnamon, definitely. I can detect the cinnamon. Okay. This is very nice, very interesting. It does definitely remind me of Déclaration, especially the parfum, especially the parfum. The spices, it's quite spicy here. Not nearly as aromatic as the original Déclaration, and not nearly as citrusy or light or fresh. I hesitate to call it fresh, the original Déclaration. I mean, at the end of the day, it's a little bit fresh, but just not in the typically green aromatic way that I find a lot of people associate with fresh fragrances. Like when you hear the word fresh in the context of colognes, at least, I don't know, just I'm going to keep it simple and say like the original Déclaration is not where my mind goes when I think of a fresh fragrance. But this here, the Eau de Parfum, yeah, definitely has those spices amplified. The aromatic and green, fresh qualities of the original Déclaration turned down. It reminds me a lot of the Parfum. It does. It does. Okay, there's something else. There's something coming to the forefront here. What is this? Ah, it's very tea like. Yeah, yeah, that's what it is. There's a tea note in this. Very nice. Definitely some tea. It's like a black tea. I feel like it's a black tea. When I'm steeping a tea bag in the hot water, the steam that comes off it, that's exactly what I'm getting here. Mixed with all those spices. Definitely heavy ginger. A good amount of cardamom, green cardamom, unripened cardamom. It's like a bitter spice. It's like a bitter spice. And of course, the cinnamon. The cinnamon is spicy and earthy with a touch of sweetness to it. And then there's something like black pepper. Yeah, I feel like there might be some black pepper in this. Cardamom, cardamom can sometimes give off a black pepper vibe. So I mean, I don't know. I don't know if the black pepper that I get is truly a standalone black pepper note, or if it's part of the development of the cardamom. I don't know, but the point is, it smells to me like black pepper. So definitely get a black pepper nuance. And the tea is definitely becoming more prominent. Tea is definitely more prominent at this stage. And the tea provides, do I want to call tea fresh? I mean, to me, it is a little bit fresh. In general, tea is a little bit fresh, in my opinion. Herbal is a better descriptor. Yeah, it's herbal, very herbal. And like I said, it reminds me of the smell of that steam, like putting my face over the mug of hot water while the tea bag is steeping. It's totally a vibe. That's totally the vibe I'm getting here. With, of course, all of those spices actually being more dominant than the tea smell and the tea experience that I'm getting with this. The tea nuance, absolutely still there. It's becoming more herbal, and I feel like there's some sort of like steam effect. Like I not only smell the steeping tea, but it's almost as though there's like a steamy quality to this, like almost a damp quality. Just imagine sticking your nose over a mug of boiling water while there's a tea bag steeping there. And you imagine the smells, yes, but also the effect of the steam. I don't know. I definitely get that. I get that in this. Very, very, very interesting release. Also, sandalwood. I feel like I'm getting some boozy, soft, woody sandalwood. I absolutely feel like there is some sandalwood in the dry down. Oh man, and I am all for it. I am here for that sandalwood. The way Cartier does sandalwood, man, or should I say more specifically, the way Mathilde Laurent does sandalwood, fucking fantastic. If you're a sandalwood fan, right off the bat, I can think of Pasha Parfum, one of, in my opinion, the very best Cartier releases. Check that one out. The sandalwood in the dry down, utterly phenomenal. Eau de Santal from the Les Aires Voyageuses line, Cartier's private line, so to speak. Another very, very delectable sandalwood in that one. Also, Eau de Santal reminds me a lot of Pasha Parfum. They're very similar fragrances with their differences. I think it's highly worthwhile to check out both of those. If you ever get the chance and you're a sandalwood fan, don't pass it up. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. Déclaration Eau de Parfum. Stunning, stunning release. I'm not much of a trend follower when it comes to fragrances. In 2004, there were many designer releases from Jean-Paul Gaultier Le Mel line. There were at least were there one or two releases from that line? There was the Invictus line by Paco Rabanne, right? There were other ones like Carolina Herrera's Bad Boy line. 1 million. I think there was even a 1 million flanker released recently. And I've smelled all these. Like I go to the store and I smell them. They all end up just smelling the same to me. Chocolatey vanilla with that fruity nuance. I don't know. I always see this new elixir being released by, pick your brand that I just mentioned. I always see like a Eau de Parfum Intense elixir, whatever, gimmicky term. And I always think to myself, like, hey, man, maybe this one will be different. Like, who am I to judge something I've never smelled before? So I always go. I go to the perfume store and I spend hours there sampling, and it's always a disappointment. The point is, this is a designer release that, wow, okay, spectacular. In my opinion, probably the best designer release of 2024. And like I said, I do try them. When they're released, I try them. I know what they smell like. This is the best release of 2024 for me, in my opinion. It's a very, very interesting scent composition, first of all. And it's not just about the smell either with this one. Like I said, it's like the experience of inhaling tea. The feeling of the warm steam hitting your face as you move your face closer to that mug of boiling water while the tea is steeping inside it. And the spice is hanging around. Maybe you just cooked a fancy meal a few hours before, and the spices are lingering in the air. The scent is painting such stark imagery in my mind. How often can a fragrance do that for us? At the end of the day, it is all subjective, right? But I think solid release. Bravo, Cartier. Bravo. You deserve a round of applause for this release. Anyway, what was I about to say there? The first thing is like the smell itself. Yeah, it's a unique scent profile, and it takes you on a scent journey. It paints imagery. It brings you mentally to a different place. All right, it's captivating. It's transportative, right? This is This is good. This is good. Second thing, quality of the notes. This is the farthest thing from synthetic. I know specifically Mathilde Laurent, she did, it was either a perfume or a collection of perfumes for Cartier. This was about 10 years ago now. And I cannot remember the name of the fragrance or fragrances, but the whole concept surrounding that fragrance or those fragrances was that Mathilde wanted to compose the entire fragrance of purely lab synthesized chemicals, just to prove that a perfume could be made in a beautiful way and made to smell of the utmost quality, even using purely laboratory synthesized chemicals to make it. I'm going to have to look that up. But yeah, so Mathilde Laurent is known for, her natural smelling compositions. We'll say that. This is absolutely no exception. This is beautiful. This is like totally the opposite of an Invictus flanker release. This is totally the opposite of like an Elixir Le Parfum Absolute version of Jean-Paul Gaultier's Lamelle, for example. Yeah, it's just a night and day difference, man. This is... Designer perfumery is not dead, guys. I'm going to leave it there. I got to go out for a run and come back and make supper, go to bed. I am dumbfounded by this release. Déclaration Eau de Parfum by Cartier. Successful blind buy. Uber successful. Awesome release from Cartier. Well done, Cartier. I'm going to spend more time with this fragrance in the next few weeks and release a full review. Until next time, guys, keep it real. I hope you've had a great time. I've had an amazing time. Peace out.